Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. Today, I will continue Twine Peak's Endurance new build. This one will be Valley Amplifier new build video. And to avoid any confusion, let's call it Valley Amplifier new 2025 build 1. I will use two paths as usual. The main one through here. And a secondary one through there. You can block the secondary path with some block-offs, and all the husk will follow the main path. Smashers as well. But from my testing, adding a secondary path helps a lot to avoid any smashers issues. But still, even if we forced smashers and husk to follow the main path, plasters, pitchers and zappers will try to take a shortcut here to reach you. We all know how they target you, not the amplifier. And flingers sometimes will try to take a shortcut as well to have a spot to reach the amplifier. Plus sometimes the mini-bosses may destroy some of the block-offs to be able to go forward and backward from the spawn, like a loop. It doesn't happen to all the amplifiers, but happens a lot with Valley. They follow the long way following the main path, but once they reach the amplifier, they will try to find a short path back to the spawn location through the block-offs. So, to avoid all of that, we need extra block-offs, a lobber shield, some anti-air traps to stop any lobbers, some floors to give the mini-bosses a short path to the spawn, and some wall spikes and drop traps for any plasters, pitchers, or zappers. So, with some simple math, you will find all of that cost a lot of structures. And adding just a small secondary tunnel will help you save a lot of structures and avoid a lot of issues. First, I will cover the main path, then the secondary path. And there's a third path here, but I will block it with ton of block-offs, beside the main block-offs. I will explain why while building them, to make it easier to understand. I will cover the main build only in this video, and will add a separate video just for the loop bridges. I explained why in this video. Plus all the needed information you need to know about this build and all the possible issues with Valley Amplifier. Especially the one when smashers go crazy during waves 15 and 25. Please watch it first before building anything. And if you want to see how the build works first, check the gameplay video here. It was a cursed run, with 6 waves on Valley Amplifier in the same run. Waves 11, 15, 16, 21, 25, and 26. And the build passed without any issues. As always, any updates for the build, any needed information, or even if there's a new version of the build, I will add them in the description. I recommend checking it first. Now everything is ready, so let's start with the build. But before we start, don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop and Epic Games Store if you want to support me, helps me a lot. As always, big thanks for all the channel members, super chat on the stream, everyone uses my creator code, and all the support, really appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with the main tunnel. It will be a damage build and a recycle build at the same time. I will use wall launchers and drop traps to delay the husk. And some damage traps to eliminate them. The tunnel looks very small, I know, but that's the key here to avoid any smashers issues. I build this part like that to avoid smashers issues inside the tunnel. Sometimes the walls here trigger them. You can add walls here for wall darts. But I kept it open to push the husk back outside the tunnel using the wall launchers here and the drop traps. Now for the secondary path. There's a mist pod spawn here, during wave 15. It may destroy this wall. But it's okay, don't worry. Now for the block offs. This block off works for both amplifiers, valley, and lava. This is the third path that I mentioned I will block. Part of it is need as well for beach amplifier, south direction. For any lobbers or flingers going around. Now I will add the extra block offs. They are needed to prevent the smashers from reaching a certain area near the main block offs, 2 tiles on front of them to be specific. Anyone used my old build will know why. Yes, the main block offs will do the job well. But the thing is, sometimes when smashers reach this 2 tiles range, they start charging on the build, causing a lot of issues. You might think, maybe the block offs are not enough. I added a ton more behind the main ones, and it didn't change anything. Still the same. But when I added these extra block offs here, blocking these 2 tiles, everything went well. So, the extra block offs here are to prevent any smashers charges here, not to force them to follow the main path. Plus some wall spikes trap and 1 wall darts trap just in case any small husk or plaster tried to take a shortcut through the block offs. Now for the roof and spawn cover. I will rely only on drop traps here. Works very well to delay the husk and the smashers. You can replace some of them with any other traps if you like. But make sure that there's not any possible gap in the roof that flingers can use to target the amplifier. This roof is enough, but if you got a lot of waves on the amp or your durability is low, some husk might pass through and reach the amplifier. So, add these extra parts. You can skip them if you want to. Now for the traps and perks. Now let's add the traps. The direction of the drop traps is very important with this build. Make sure to place them right. These anti-air traps are actually needed for Wave 21 as I explained in the gameplay video. In general, if lobbers started acting weird, targeting any part of your tunnel, add some anti-air traps in the top of it till they go back to normal, and you can remove these traps later. If you still need more control on the husk to prevent them from ruining your main tunnel durability or reaching the amplifier, you can add more extra drop traps here on top of the spawn. Same thing with the secondary path. You can add more damage traps around here, but add a sound wall trap here first to avoid any sploders issues, because they can destroy themselves if their health went low. You can add 2 walls here with wall darts if needed. Some roof traps as well. I tried to make this build cheap as much as possible. And if you remove the extra parts, like the extra roofs, extra block-offs, you will see how much cheap it is. But of course, these extra parts are here to avoid any issues. These issues won't happen a lot, so it's up to you. I will cover all the loop bridges in the next video. This video is already long enough. And if you are confused, just check the description, everything you may need will be there. And that's it for this video. Don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop and Epic Games Store if you want to support me, helps me a lot. As always, big thanks for all the channel members, super chat on the stream, everyone uses my creator code, and all the support, really appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you are enjoying the content, so YouTube algorithm will suggest the video for more people. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, see you in the next one.